Breaking news. For the first time, we are hearing audio of former President Trump's call with a top elections investigator for the state of Georgia. A call where the president tried to pressure her to overturn the will of the people by pushing baseless claims of voter fraud. Here is part of the call, which was obtained by the Wall Street Journal.
So I won Florida in a record number, Ohio in a record, Texas in a record, Alabama by 40 points. And I won everything but Georgia, and I won Georgia. I know that by a lot, and the people know it. And something happened. Something bad happened. Hopefully, I will. When the right answer comes out, you'll be praised. I mean, I don't know why. They made it so hard. They will be praised. People will say, "Great," because that's what it's about. That ability to check and to make it right, because everyone knows it's wrong. There's just no way. Right, but whatever you can do, Francis, it would be, it's a great thing. It's an important thing for the country. So important. You have no idea, so important. Well, and I very much appreciate it.
Now, to be clear, Trump did not win everything but Georgia, and something bad did happen, although not what he said, right? What bad happened was him peddling a lie about the election, which led to a deadly insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Out front now, Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett. She was also one of the House impeachment managers for Trump's second impeachment trial. She's also a former prosecutor. So, Congresswoman, I really appreciate your time. Obviously, we all saw you during the impeachment trial make the case. Put on that impeachment manager prosecutorial hat for us. When you hear this phone call, he says, when the right answer comes out, you will be praised. Whatever you can do, Francis, it's a great thing. How damning is it?
I think it's just another stone in the already very heavy evidence against the president for, infringing on our democracy. One of the elements that we made was the big lie and his actual attempt to go after election officials, to go after elected individuals to try and change the election. And then when he ran out of those options, whether it was being in the courts, trying to intimidate individuals, he then moved to what he did on January 6th. And I think this is just further corroboration of what we showed in the trial. And I think there's going to be more, Erin. I think that as time goes by, we're going to see more and more that what we showed in that trial was in fact the truth.
So, it's interesting, that you say there's going to be more and more. It's amazing, right, that something like this is actually only coming to light now, on one hand, right? Even though it's, of course, consistent with what we heard, it does come on top of the call we heard already between Trump and the Republican Secretary of State of Georgia, Brad Raffensperger. Here's part of that call.
You can't let it happen, and you are letting it happen. I'm notifying you that you're letting it happen. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have. So tell me, Brad, what are we going to do? We won the election, and it's not fair to take it away from us like this.
I mean, it's the word echo is eerie and disturbing. It's a pattern of pressure. There's now 2 investigations into Trump's efforts in Georgia. One of those investigations is criminal. So, Congresswoman, how much legal jeopardy is the former president in?
Right. I think we're going to see many of these cases, not just the ones in Georgia. And just listen to his language. I'm putting you on notice, as if he has authority over states' elections, over that process. Just outrageous. But we're going to see different states, I think, what happened in Pennsylvania as well. Talking to the entire, the members of the legislature there. And other states, I think, are going to come out also, and we'll see information trickling in about what the president did. Because if he did it in Pennsylvania, if he did it in Georgia, there were other swing states that I'm sure this went on as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it in Arizona, Wisconsin, Ohio, other places as well. But remember, let's not forget the other cases that he has, I think, very strong cases against him, that being in New York for tax issues. There still is looming the emoluments of the money that he made, which is a direct constitutional violation, as well as the District of Columbia bringing charges against the former president for the insurrection itself.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty stunning. And, our Kara Scannell was reporting the other day that, if found guilty of some of these allegations in New York, even on the tax front, right, that those carry prison terms. I mean, and that's just one piece, as you just laid out, Congresswoman, of the possible pie here. I want to ask you one more thing, though, before you go tonight. This was a heated back and forth you had with Republican Congressman Glenn Grothman after he made these comments about the COVID relief bill today. Let me play it so everyone else can see.
One of the things that hasn't been mentioned here, the increase in the earned income tax credit for single people has a marriage penalty in it. I bring it up because I know the strength that Black Lives Matter had in this last election. I know it's a group that it doesn't like the old-fashioned family.
I hope my colleague from Wisconsin will not leave at this time, as he's talked about Black Lives Matter. How dare you say that Black Lives Matter, Black people do not understand old-fashioned families. Despite some of the issues, some of the things that you have put forward that I've heard out of your mouth in the Oversight Committee, in your own district, we have been able to keep our families alive for over 400 years, and the assault on our families to not have Black lives or not even have Black families. How dare you say that we are not interested in families in the Black community? That is outrageous. That should be stricken down.
I mean, Congresswoman, he said, I quote him, "I know the strength that Black Lives Matter had in this last election. It's a group that doesn't like the old-fashioned family." I mean, what words are there to describe his saying such a thing?
If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it is a duck. And if you make racist statements and continue to say them, then that's probably what you are as well. I did not go on the floor to have a back and forth with Congressman Grothman. I went on the floor to discuss the bill, the rescue plan, which is going to lift millions of children out of poverty, which are going to provide assistance to my own community through the earned income tax credit and the child tax credit, that are going to do tremendous support to Black farmers, underserved communities, to small businesses. That was my intentions. But as an African American, as a Caribbean person, as a person of African descent, I cannot continue to let individuals like Mr. Grothman's words stay on the record without being rebuked, without being rebuffed. It appears now that, some of the members of the Republican Party are very comfortable, or almost too comfortable, making these kinds of statements. And we've got to call them when we have to.
It's pretty incredible. All right, well, I appreciate your time, Congresswoman. Thank you.
Thank you.
And next, Prince William and Kate have